Episode 127, the Facebook Live Show. Today is part 3 of 3 in a social media mini-series where I talk with Ross Brand from LivestreamUniverse.com about LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook Live for content creators, personal brands, and online businesses. And today is going to focus on Facebook Live. And you are listening to episode number 127 of Mike Murphy Unplugged. Learn, create, move forward. I am your host, Mike Murphy. I'm a one-man band. I'm a technology junkie. I love helping people figure things out, and I am really excited to be here with you today. The goal of Mike Murphy Unplugged, it is to help you learn what you need to know in order to create online content so you can move forward in business and in life. Today's episode 127 is all about Facebook Live and the final episode in a special social media mini-series with expert guest Ross Brand from LivestreamUniverse.com. Episode 125 was all about LinkedIn and episode 126 Twitter. And today's episode 127 is going to include what exactly is Facebook Live, how do you use it, and what type of Facebook Live can you create if you are a personal brand, content creator, or small business. After I give the overview of what Facebook Live is and how to use it, I'm going to jump into the Q&A session with Ross Brand where I ask him these 3 questions. Number 1, is Facebook Live beginner friendly? 2, how do you manage a Facebook Live show? And what do you do if nobody shows up when you go live? And the third question I ask, is Facebook Live a trend, or is there a future to live streaming on Facebook? My guess is that there are a lot of you out there who may hear buzz about Facebook Live and live streaming, but you might be intimidated or confused by it or not entirely sure what you should do on Facebook Live. So I wanted to give you a good overview of the platform and then ask advice from someone who uses Facebook Live nearly every single day. So let's get into this episode number 127, the Facebook Live Show. What is Facebook Live? First, let me give you the dictionary definition of live streaming. As a noun, a live stream is a live broadcast of an event over the internet. And as a verb, to live stream is to broadcast an event over the internet, okay? To broadcast an event over the internet. In many cases, you are the event. So Facebook Live is simply sharing live video on your newsfeed in Facebook as it happens in real time. Viewers can join in live and comment in real time, and you can interact with your audience. Facebook Live started rolling out to testers in August 2015 and really started being available for public use in January of 2016 when Facebook began to allow users to live stream video. In a nutshell, Facebook Live is simply a feature of Facebook that allows profile pages and business pages to share live video in real time, where live viewers watch, leave comments in real time. After the broadcast is over, you can post it to your Facebook page where anyone can watch the replay and leave comments, just like any other Facebook post or video. And oftentimes, the replay gets more views than the actual live stream, so keep that in mind. For example, I do a lot of Facebook Lives of the sunset going down over the Gulf of Mexico here in Naples, Florida. And there may only be a couple of people who join me live, but the replay numbers are usually pretty significant, so there's really good potential for good exposure and reach if you are doing something interesting on Facebook Live or something that people are interested in. So the bottom line, think of Facebook Live as your own TV show or live podcast or live video show, and people tune in on Facebook to watch. It is a powerful platform that is still in the very early stages. So how do you use Facebook Live? This is all likely to change as live streaming evolves, but you can go live on Facebook with your mobile devices quite easily, and it is getting easier to go live from your computer, but that was not the case when Facebook Live first came out. I'm not going to go into all of the different techniques and the hacks that connect to Facebook Live on your computer, but if you're just wanting to test the waters and check it out, my suggestion is to start on your iPhone or your Android device right from the Facebook app. That is the easiest. You can open up Facebook on your phone. In the same place where you write a post or share a photo or video, there's now an icon that says Live. You simply tap that, you select whether you want to go public or maybe you just want to go to your friends or to a group or your page. You can then add a catchy title and a description, add tons of emojis, fun characters, there's effects you can add. You can even tag a friend and go live with someone else. Once you have everything configured the way you want it, you simply start live video. There's a big button on the bottom that says start live video. Facebook is going to notify people that you interact with the most or friends that are on your page, and then they're basically going to tell them that you have started a live broadcast. If you have never used Facebook Live, I also suggest you just play around for a bit. Look at the settings, see what you can do, and you can even broadcast to yourself if you just want to do some test runs. On a smartphone, though, you can start a Facebook Live quite easily. And if you have ever done Instagram Live or even stories, you should feel right at home. You can do vertical videos on Facebook Live, but horizontal is usually suggested. On your desktop or your laptop, it is not quite so straightforward, and most people use third-party software to do Facebook Live from their computer. And today I'm just going to give you a very surface-level view of some of your options. If you want to produce a polished broadcast or show with professional cameras and graphical overlays, sharing your screen, streaming to multiple platforms, there are two popular programs that most people use. One is Wirecast. This is made by Telestream, which is the same company who makes the screencasting application ScreenFlow. And Wirecast will cost you about $700 to $1,000, but it is professional-grade broadcast solution. And if Wirecast is out of your budget, there is a free open-source copycat version of Wirecast called OBS, or Open Broadcaster Software. This was made popular by gamers, and it is quite impressive and does a lot of what Wirecast can do, only it is free. I have used both programs. There is a steep learning curve, and quite honestly, I find them to be a little bit overwhelming and overkill for most people just wanting to hop on Facebook Live or produce a simple show. For really simple solutions to use in Facebook Live from your computer, I suggest one, BeLive TV, which is a sponsor of one of Ross's shows, but I find it to be really nice looking. It's super simple. You can use it for solo shows, interviews, talk shows. You can have up to 3 people on, and that's going to run you about $12 or $20 per month for BeLive TV. And finally, the tool that I just bought and I think is incredibly easy and impressive is ECamm Live. This is the same company that most podcasters rely on to record Skype interviews. ECamm Live makes it incredibly simple to go live on Facebook, and you can even bring on a guest from Skype, making live stream guest interviews that you can also serve as a podcast a really great benefit. And another thing that I really love is that you can hook up your DSLR camera via USB, so you can use your DSLR just like a webcam, which is pretty awesome. I had a promo code, so I only paid $20 for this. It's a one-time purchase, and the full price is still only $39.95, which is a bargain when you see what is possible with ECamm Live. So just a quick recap of the tools. The easiest way to go live is really on your smartphone. But if you want to go live on your laptop or your desktop and produce a more professional Facebook Live, such as you would find in a TV studio, you need to look into Wirecast or the open source alternative OBS Studio. If you want to look professional and possibly have guests or share your screen, but you want it easy as logging into a web application, then I recommend looking at BeLive TV, which is going to be $12 to $20 per month, or my new favorite, ECamm Live, which is going to cost you about $40 at full price. And please note, if you are doing Facebook Live from a computer, you will also want to hook up at least a high-definition webcam and use a good microphone. And all the programs mentioned make it really easy to sync with your cameras and your audio gear. Okay, let's shift gears and talk about content. So now you know what Facebook Live is, you know how it works. What type of content should you or can you be creating if you are a personal brand, a podcaster, online, or a small business? There are no rules and there are no limitations, but you should always try to create content that aligns with your brand and connect with your target audience. And if you do not have a target audience yet, it should be at least entertaining, interesting, or informative, or a combination of all three. So here are some best practices. I actually found a lot of these on the Facebook's FAQ page. I paraphrased them and I added my own spin, but I think they covered some great ideas and I wanted to share them with you here. So how can you use Facebook Live? Number 1, Q&A sessions, aka Ask Mike Murphy, which is in the works. You can spend all week gathering questions on other social media channels like Twitter or on Instagram. Then when you go live, when you're waiting for the questions, explain the topics that you're going to be talking about. Get people interested in them. And also, think about creating something on a consistent time schedule so people know what to expect and they can be ready with questions. Number 2, bring people with you somewhere. Maybe you're going to Podfest or Podcast Movement, or maybe you're going to a social media conference. Go live at the conference. Show people where you're at. Maybe you're at a sporting event, a concert, a parade, any live event that you're interested in. Bring people along and provide commentary. Number 3, vlog style or behind the scenes make great Facebook Lives. Bring people live while you work out if you're in the health and fitness space. Maybe if you're a realtor, take people along to your open houses or show how you prepare to show houses. Explain your process no matter what you do. Podcasters, you can show setting up your recording, or designers and artists and writers. Show the tools that you use to write and organize and create. What does your desk look like? What inspires you to create? Video makers, explain your lights and your green screens and your camera setups. Maybe do unboxing, tech, and gear. Going on a trip? Well, go live from the road or the airport. Walk through how you created your most recent YouTube or your Instagram post. And number 4, create a live show. As Gary Vee says all the time, brands and businesses need to act like they are their own media companies. Start your own live show, or your interview show, or your talk show. Make the rules. Have a co-host. Go live once a week. Maybe do daily news updates. Do book reviews or podcast reviews or tech reviews. Maybe spotlight members of your community. You can do live coaching calls. How about doing graphic design live or video editing or audio tutorials? And a bonus tip, turn your Facebook Live shows into a podcast when they are finished. This takes a little extra work, but if you have been recording the video, all you need to do is strip out the audio, clean it up, convert it to a podcast, and be sure to post the video on YouTube and spread the clips around your social media channels. Do you realize that you can create any type of live show you can think of and distribute it to the world with pretty much just the device that is in your pocket? And you also realize it is just getting started. It has never been a better time to create anything you want. You just have to start. Speaking of which, it is time to start the Q&A session that I had with Ross Brand of LivestreamUniverse.com. And just to give you an idea of why I wanted to chat with Ross about Facebook Live, well, it's because he is one of the most recognized and distinguished live streamers on Facebook. He is the creator and the host of several shows, ranging from solo shows to interview shows. He has a co-hosted show, a podcast. He interviews influencers and the best of the best content creators and social media A-listers. In other words, he knows what he's talking about when it comes to Facebook Live and live streaming in general. So the first question that I asked Ross was 1, is Facebook Live beginner friendly? Meaning, can anyone do it, or do you have to have broadcast experience in order to be successful at it? And here is what he had to say.
Absolutely. I would recommend anybody who's just starting out live streaming to go to Facebook Live as your first destination, because you have your friends, you have your family there, and so it's easiest place to build an audience. And also, if you have a business page and you live stream on your business page, you already have people who've kind of opted into wanting to see your content and learn about your business. It's much harder to build an audience for newcomers on YouTube and Periscope and some of the other platforms.
Question 2 was a two-parter about managing a live streaming. What do you do if nobody shows up when you go live? And 2, how do you get people to interact and engage with a live stream? And here's how Ross replied.
Yeah, that's a common fear that a lot of people have. What if I go live and nobody shows up? You execute the game plan that you came up with. Whatever it was that you wanted to talk about, you talk about, and then people may find you on the replay. Oftentimes replays get more views, but you also use it as an opportunity to develop your skill. In fact, when I first started out, I hope not too many people showed up, right? Because it was a chance to make some mistakes and not have it seen by as many people. So look at it as an opportunity to learn. But once you commit to going live, even if nobody shows up, you do what you had planned to do. You may not stay on quite as long, but definitely don't just hang up the phone, so to speak, because you don't have enough people watching. And everybody who watches is valuable, so acknowledge them, ask them questions, make it an engaging broadcast, even if it's just for one person.
And finally, question number 3. Is Facebook Live a trend, or is there a future to live streaming on Facebook?
Oh, yeah. I think it's only going to continue to get more popular because as Facebook makes it harder and harder for businesses to get traction in their news feed, live video is one thing that does get a lot of conversation and engagement around it. And so it's an opportunity to get your business and your brand in front of a lot more people by posting a live stream and going live rather than posting an image or text, which just may not facilitate the same kind of conversation as live video does.
And that is going to do it for episode 127, the Facebook Live Show, and for my 3-part experimental live guest series. I really hope that you learned something about LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook Live from these past 3 episodes, and from Ross Brand, who I want to give a big thank you for sharing his insights and knowledge on 3 important platforms for content creators and personal brands that I think are misunderstood or often underutilized. These are 3 channels that I am working on ramping up. I particularly see Facebook Live as being important to my personal brand and online education platform. One of my favorite things to do is solve problems for people in Q&A format, so be on the lookout for Ask Mike Murphy on Facebook Live. But in the meantime, you can always catch me going live from the beach, sharing a nice sunset with the soothing audio of waves and birds. And everything mentioned today will be in the show notes at mikemurphy.co/EP127. including links to Ross's information and live stream shows. And again, a big thank you to Ross and taking the time to record and share such valuable information. If there is anything I can do for you, please reach out at mike@mikemurphy.co. And I thank you for joining me today. I hope you join my one-man band, and together we can learn, create, and move forward. Cheers.